Hey, it's Llama here. So in this video I'm going to be getting myself a couple of the new Rhyniognatha. These guys that you see here. Now this footage was recorded the weekend the Rhynio launched, but it's taken me a little while to edit it. And we know a lot more about these guys than we did back then, but I'll include any new info as we go. If you enjoyed the video or find it useful, and you could like, comment or subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. And let's get started, shall we? So we start our journey off here in the swamp near Rhynio, and this is where we found our first one. So these guys are a rare spawn, but once you find one they're easy enough to spot with their flapping wings. This one's a male, it's a level 10, which is perfect. So we need a male because the male will drop the pheromone. So this guy we just want to kill, and we want to get the pheromone off of him, and we can use that then to attract the female to impregnate our tame. So let's grab the pheromone out of the Giga's inventory. Okay, that's got about an 8-hour spoil timer in my inventory. In the Giga's inventory, it had about a day. Back at base, and you can see here we get 33 days spoil timer in a fridge. So best to leave this guy in the fridge as long as we can, and only take it out with us when we need it. It wasn't long before I found a second one, and I could scarcely believe my luck. It was a female, so I knew exactly what to do, net gun it, and then I need to get its health down to below 10%. So, traps it with a net gun. I had my magnifying glass to make sure. Yep. Grab my shotgun, give it a couple of shots with the shotgun, and that's why you do the math properly. Now I found out afterwards that that guy had 1800 health and my shotgun did 1600 damage, so it was never going to take 2 shots. Anyway, we kept looking and we found our next one here in the same stretch of swamp. And there we go, you can see. So that one, another female, level 55. Okay, we'll take that one. So first I fly over to the side, out of its way. I don't want to aggro it yet. I'm going to hop on a Rex, and that's what I'm going to use to get pregnant with. I was doing a playthrough at the time that the Rhynio launched on the island with nothing but stuff I'd tamed, so I didn't have any sort of top stat gigas or anything like that to use, so I used the best Rexes that I had. At the time we didn't know the difference it made. Now we've got a little bit more information on it. So we'll grab the pheromone out of the Tappy's inventory, pop it in the Rex, and let's head over to where the Rhynio is. And it's up here, aggroing on a Bronto. So first thing, I want to get rid of the Bronto. So let's shotgun the Bronto. Okay, see if we can get aggro of this guy, or if we can net him, or her. And there we go. Oh, definitely got her attention. Net gunned, and on top of a rock. Not ideal. And now, let's see. We're going to check our health. Plenty of health. We're going to give it one hit with the shotgun. Now at this stage I was a little gun shy after the last event, so I didn't do my math properly again, and I didn't figure out that I could have hit it again with the shotgun. Instead I started hitting it with the pike. I take too much damage in one go. Unfortunately, because it was stuck on the rock, it meant I had to keep jumping in the air to try and check it with the magnifying glass and then hit it with the pike again. At this stage it was most surely going to get free from the net gun before I got its health down to 10%. Yeah, nowhere near. And it's free. So at this stage I hopped back on the Rex, because the Rex can tank a little better than me. The net gun will be on cooldown now, so I wanted to head into a slightly better position so that next time we hit it, it wouldn't land on the rock. I wanted to make sure that the net gun was on full cooldown, so I just sat here for a little bit and tanked the shots. You can see here the different attacks that it makes. So that's its melee attack, then it flies back and shoots resin, and it shoots great big blobs of resin. And you can see that's just bogging down that Rex, so the Rex can't move now. So I'm going to hop off, net gun this guy again. There we go. This time it lands on the floor. And we continue to hit it with the pokey stick. Again, I was being very cautious here. I took a long time to find this next one and I didn't want to kill it. There we go. A couple more hits. Yeah. A little bit more to be safe. One for luck. Alright, now we'll hop back on the Rex and it's time to feed the pheromone. Now you'll notice when I do feed the Rex the pheromone, it starts glowing red, not unlike a Reaper when a Reaper is ready to impregnate you. There we go, we've got that red glow going, and now the Rhynio will impregnate. Now, so see how it did that tail flick thing? Now the Rex is pregnant, and you can see it's got those sort of red circles radiating out from it, which suggests that it is indeed impregnated. And as you can see, we're back at base now. The pheromone is worn off, and that red glow is now just indicating the pregnancy. And here we have some metrics, I guess we'd call them, for the pregnancy, something to keep an eye on. Let's just have a bit of a zoom in on these. Now the first one's craving satisfaction. Let's skip over that for a sec. Let's look at size quality. That's at 78%. That's based on the Rex. Now had I used a Giga, that would be 100%. Egg quality, 52%. That's based on the level 55 Rhynio. If I'd used a 150, that would be 100%. Then we have incubation time remaining. That's the time counting down until the baby is born. And finally, the amount of time before the next craving, or in this case the first craving, needs to be satisfied. So the total incubation time on here was about 2 hours and 40 minutes, and the cravings were around about every 25 minutes. But you remember I mentioned that this was the weekend that the Rhynio was first launched, and that was a 3 times breeding weekend on official servers. So if we were to do this on an official PVE 1 times breeding, we're talking about 8 hours baby gestation, 1 hour and 10 minutes intervals on cravings. And there are always 5 cravings per baby, so each one will give you a 20% craving satisfaction. And just for your reference, I've listed all the possible cravings here on the screen, so you can take a screenshot of this if you need to. Some of them trickier than others. Possibly the toughest is the golden Hesperornis egg. There's a link here to a video where I show you how to get those and how to get your golden Hesperornis as well. So freshly armed with the knowledge of what to do and the confidence not to cock it up this time, I decided to go and get another Rex pregnant with the same Rhynio. So these guys will flee after they get you pregnant, and you can just simply bring another tank back to them and repeat the process again. Now this time I finally did my math correctly and worked out that I could actually hit him twice with my shotgun. That brought his damage right down, and then we gave him just a couple of pokes with the pokey stick, and then unfortunately I glitched into him or her, but not that this was a huge problem. A bit of jigging and jumping around and we managed to get out and back on the Rex. Brilliant. So rinse and repeat. We feed the pheromone, starts the glow, wait for her to get out of the net gun. And watch for the tail flick this time. There we go. Shoots me a couple of times. Whack! Gives me the flick. And then off she goes. And we're pregnant again. And we're back at base. We've got 2 pregnant Rexes, and the first one's first craving is due. And wouldn't you know it, one of the 2 things I don't have, a Giga egg. A little bit later, and the second Rex was due its first craving, and element. So element we had, we could quite easily satisfy that craving. Now I had everything listed in the cravings list other than Giga eggs and Cark eggs. And I didn't have golden Hesperornis eggs, but I knew I could get them if I needed them because I had Hesperornis. but this really caught me short, to be honest. So you only need the craving in your inventory, hit the action button, and it will feed it. Now, we still hadn't managed to get a Giga Egg, but the second Rex was due its second craving, black pearls. We definitely had those. Grab those. Not too many. Run back, and as I said, all you need is them in your inventory. You don't need them on your hotbar or anything like that. Just run up and press the action button, and it feeds it. Now, the pregnant dinosaurs' health and food drops really quickly, and at this stage I was healing them with a Daedon and feeding them with meat. But I found out later on that you didn't really need to do this. Now, I managed to get someone on the server to hop to another server and get me a Giga Egg and bring it back to me, which was fantastic. And just when I gave him the coordinates for him to deliver it to me, this happened. Finally, I got back on again, and he'd actually dropped the egg off to me. Fantastic. So I picked it up and fed it to the Rex. Brilliant. And then this happened again. Gotta love official servers and dodgy Australian internet. So the rest of the time in between cravings I spent feeding and also healing the Rexes. I did some experiments later and found out this wasn't necessary. I'll post a video on that. It wasn't long before the second Rex was due its next craving. This one wanted gasoline. Definitely had some of that. That was not a problem. Run back and feed this guy his petrol. Nighttime came and the first Rex was almost due its second craving. Only a couple of minutes left, and this happened again. Then I got one of those helpful messages telling me I'm already connected, when clearly I'm not. Love those. Finally, we got back on again, and other than that annoying food trough visible area glitch, everything seemed okay. Our craving was gasoline. We could satisfy that one, we'd done it before. So, dodging all the green laser beams. Grab ourselves some gasoline. Nice. Head back. And satisfy another craving. Brilliant. Now at this stage it's looking like that guy was going to be cutting it fine because we got so far behind with the original Giga Egg craving. I continued to feed them meat because I hadn't learnt yet, and continued to heal. And the next craving was giant bee honey. Okay, well I had some of that in the fridge. I remember storing it in there. The problem was when I went to get it, it had spoiled. So, okay, off we go to the redwoods. I knew where there was a beehive, so I just flew out there with the tappy, over to my tree platform, watching out for any thylers that might jump out. Pod this guy up. Nice. Throw out the Giga. Hop on him. And really just because like, he's the right height. So there's my beehive. And all I did was just trundle along head height up to the beehive. And grab my honey. Bang. Back up at 1,000,000 miles an hour. And there we go. Flew back to the Rexes. Hopped off. and fed the bee honey. Nice. So the original Rex was due its next craving, and what would it have? Yeah, of course. Luckily I managed to get one off of a kind soul on the server and feed him. Now, I spent a lot of time healing. Did I mention that this wasn't necessary? I think I might have mentioned that once before. It became apparent to me now, though, that this first Rex, the one that missed out on the Giga Egg and also now the Conch Egg for a little bit, wasn't going to make its final craving. This guy, however, would, and Shadow Steak Saute, brilliant. We'd prepared, and we had some of that already cooked and ready to go. Here's one I prepared earlier. Grab one of those, head back, and satisfy the last craving. So it's 100% of craving satisfied on this guy. You notice the indicator there goes. We've got just 23 minutes until that baby is born. This one, 11 minutes, and its next craving in 16 minutes. So that's not going to happen. Here we go. We have our first baby due. 5 minutes away from the craving, and wow, spectacular exit. Name it, tame it. There we get the dossier. Fantastic. And they come out 30% mature, which is brilliant because they're straight onto feeding troughs. So that one came out at level 38. Now, really started panicking about the health on the second one, started healing it again. Might have mentioned before, not necessary. So let's have a quick look at the stats. Not great. Now, somewhat affected by the fact that the Rex was only 78% host quality, and also the Rhynio was only level 55. And the stats on the Rex weren't fantastic. But still, I'll take it. So let's chuck this guy out next to the feeding troughs. As I mentioned, they pop out with 30%. That's not because we're on 3 times. That happens even on 1 times. So these guys go straight on the troughs. You can see the stats there. As I mentioned before, not great. Level 38. And imprint timer is 4 hours 47, but that is only because we're on 3 times breeding on official. Now, here we go. Second baby. Pop. Okay, this one's a level 66. Nice colours. This one's got slightly different colours to the other one. Higher level. Let's have a look. Slightly better stats. And yeah, slightly different colour mix. That's not bad. And here we go. Here are our fully adult Rhynios. I'll just show you quick. This one's been leveled, but all the levels have gone into stamina. So I'll just show you quickly. This is what the stats look like. 100% imprint. This was the lower level out of the two. This was the level 38. And as I said, it's had a lot of levels put into stamina. Keep it in the air. This is level 66. I haven't leveled this one whatsoever, so these are just the 100% imprint stats. Not too bad. Not massively OP like the Gigas and Karchas that people are, max stat ones that people are getting pregnant. But like I said, I only had very basic teams available to me on the day. Since then, I've also got this one, which is possibly the ugliest colour I could imagine. Slightly better stats, slightly better level 72. That hasn't been leveled, it's just imprinted. And just on the day that I recorded this, I'd actually got another one which is really cool. It's this was a level 130 Rhynio, so much better stats coming through on this one, and it's blue and white, which matches the colour scheme of my Rexes, so you can tell where it got its colours from. And this one actually looks like it's going to be pretty decent. Again, not massively OP, but for me, this will be awesome. Came out at level 140. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you got something out of this video, and if you did, please show your appreciation by liking or subscribing, and leave a comment if you can. I really do appreciate it. And I'll catch you in the next one. I'm Llama, and I'm out of here.